Alright everyone, lean in because I need to tell you a secret about your own head. You know that space right in the middle of your brain? The one the spiritual gurus call your third eye? Well, it turns out the hippies and the conspiracy theorists were actually right, sort of. But it's way weirder than a chakra or a psychic portal. According to a mind-blowing new study, you used to have 4 eyes. Not 4 eyes like you wore glasses in 3rd grade, but literally, physically, 4 functioning, light-detecting peepers. And we have a 508 million-year-old fossil from China to thank for this existential crisis. Let's set the stage. If you've seen James Cameron's Avatar, you know the wildlife on Pandora is basically just Earth's animals if they had a much bigger budget. Most of those creatures have 4 eyes. We all watched that and thought, wow, James, great imagination. Such an alien concept. Well, joke's on us because Mother Nature did it first. 500 million years ago, and she did it right here on Earth. The stars of today's show are the Myllokunmingiids. Try saying that 3 times fast after a couple of espressos. These guys were the ultimate ancestors. They lived during the Cambrian period, which was basically the most chaotic, experimental, anything-goes party in the history of life on Earth. We're talking 518 million years ago. To put that in perspective, the T-Rex is closer to us in time than it was to these little guys. These creatures were basal chordates, primitive little swimmers that didn't even have real backbones yet, just a flexible rod called a notochord. They were basically the beta version of a vertebrate. They were the early access release of humanity, full of weird features that eventually got patched out. A team of international scientists, led by brilliant minds at Yunnan University, were poking around in the Kunming region of China. This place is famous for being a literal gold mine of Cambrian fossils. They found 2 specific Myllokunmingiid fossils that were so well preserved. They practically looked like they were just waiting for a microscope to show up. When they put these tiny ancient ancestors under the electron microscope, they saw 4 distinct black spots on the head. 2 big ones on the sides and 2 smaller ones right in the middle. Now, usually when you see 2 spots in the middle of a Cambrian fossil's head, you assume they're nostrils. Evolutionarily speaking, that's the standard kit. You get eyes on the sides to see predators and nose holes to smell. But something wasn't sitting right with the researchers. They looked closer, way closer. And what they found was enough to make a paleontologist drop their latte. Those central nostrils weren't for breathing or smelling. They had primitive photoreceptive cells. They had melanosense pigment-producing cells identical to the ones in our own retinas. And the absolute kicker, they had lenses. Archaic, tiny, ancient lenses. These weren't just light sensors. They were full-on camera eyes. Professor Jakob Vinder from Bristol basically summed up the vibe by saying it's incredible to think our ancestors were swimming around 500 million years ago with a panoramic 4-eye view of the world. Imagine the field of vision. These guys were basically the original 360-degree GoPros of the ocean. They had a wide-angle lens on life because, let's be honest, in the Cambrian period, everything was trying to eat you. If you were a Myllokunmingiid, you were basically a floating protein bar. You needed every eye you could get. So you're probably asking, if my great-great-great-times-million-grandpa had 4 eyes, where did mine go? Did I lose them in a move? Did evolution decide I was seeing too much? Well, they didn't exactly disappear. They just changed careers. This is where the biology gets truly crazy maybe territory. According to the study, those 2 central eyes eventually migrated and fused or transformed. In some animals, like the Tuatara, a lizard-like creature from New Zealand that is basically a living fossil, that third eye is still there on top of its head, covered by scales, still capable of sensing light. But in us and most other mammals, those central eyes were treated deep into the brain and became the pineal gland. Yes, that tiny pinnacle-shaped thing in the center of your skull that produces melatonin and regulates your sleep-wake cycle used to be a pair of eyes. Looking out at the Cambrian sun. Your pineal gland is essentially a retired eye that decided to stop taking pictures and start doing office work. Instead of telling you what you're seeing, it tells you when it's time to go to bed. It's the ultimate evolutionary career pivot. From visual security system to human alarm clock, the scientists, led by Professors Sehong Zhang and Peiyun Kong, explained that both the pineal organ and our lateral eyes share the same genetic and embryological foundation. They both grow out of the diencephalon during development. This confirms a deep homology of fancy science waves saying they're long-lost twins. In the Myllokunmingiids, these organs were still visibly active. They were probably filter feeders. just drifting through the water. And having those extra eyes on top was a massive survival advantage against the aggressive predators of the time. Think about the sheer audacity of evolution for a second. We think of ourselves as these perfectly designed machines, but we're actually just a collection of repurposed parts from 500 million years ago. Your ability to get jet lag today is a direct result of a pair of eyes that some tiny, spineless fish used to avoid getting eaten by a giant sea scorpion 500 million years ago. We are walking museums of what worked at the time. The researchers conclude that these 4 camera-style eyes represent an ancestral character of all vertebrates. That means 4 eyes was the original factory setting for the team that eventually became fish, amphibians, reptiles, and eventually us. We're the weird ones for only having 2. We're basically the stripped-down model. It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? The next time you're lying in bed, unable to sleep because your melatonin is all out of whack, just remember, it's not your fault. It's just your internal third eye being nostalgic for the Cambrian Ocean. It's probably just trying to look for predators through your skull and getting frustrated that there's a roof in the way. The study of these Myllokunmingiids doesn't just rewrite the history of the eye. It reshapes how we view our place in nature. We aren't just human. We are the latest iteration of a 500 million-year-old experiment. We carry the blueprints of 4-eyed sea creatures in our DNA and the literal remnants of their vision in our brains. So cheers to the Myllokunmingiids. You were small, you were weird, and you had way too many eyes, but we wouldn't be here without you. And to James Cameron, next time you want to design a crazy alien, maybe just look at a fossil of our own grandparents. It turns out reality has been out-weirding sci-fi since before the first tree ever grew on land. Stay curious, keep your eyes open, all 4 of them if you can, and remember, evolution doesn't throw anything away. It just finds a new job for it. Now go tell your pineal gland it's doing a great job, even if it's no longer seeing the sights. It's earned its retirement.